imagine it's a wish come true. I mean, like you said, it was a manifesto commitment in 2019. It's something that the association has been asking for since then, and it's now like a dream and a reality come true.
And as we just heard, it makes such a difference to have the diagnostic tools available to us in Gibraltar. It removes a layer, but on a human level, what difference does it make to patients?
I think it makes a completely, thing which is now like what before was maybe considered to be something catastrophic, because when you have a heart attack, it really, really affects you completely. And the mere fact that you were having to travel to a foreign country to basically have some intervention was sort of fearful, especially for yourself and for your family. To now be able to have the opportunity to have it at your doorstep, where also in cases like this, time is of essence, I think we're extremely lucky as a community to be able to have these facilities in Gibraltar.
I mean, we're stating the obvious here, but anyone who requires these facilities is not having the best of times. So just that added difficulty of having to go to Spain, even if it is just across the border, sort of...
It is just across the border, but when you know that you had a heart attack and that every minute counts, I mean, imagine just being at home waiting for an ambulance. The ambulances in Gib take quite a relatively short time. And for that patient and that family member, it looks never ending. So imagine if you can now basically have everything done in the hospital and not have to get into another ambulance, whereby you don't know what the situation is going to be like maybe at a border, and then have to travel for a distance of about 20 minutes or half an hour. That could be a life-saving difference between whether you survive it or not. So I think it's essential to be able to have something like this on our doorstep. I don't think we can really have asked for more. And the mere fact that our resident consultant cardiologist is an interventionist himself and can do it for us, I think we're extremely lucky.
Yeah. And on a level of comfort, I suppose, if you're going across the border, you mentioned before the interview that there's still a language barrier for some patients from Gibraltar going across.
Exactly.
They won't be able to have the support and the family support that we have here in Gibraltar. So you're adding a level of discomfort if you're having to leave the road.
Most definitely. And unfortunately, during COVID, obviously, we had a pandemic and we all had to sort of make do and adapt. But we had people going over across the border who had just had a heart attack. So you're scared anyway because you don't know what's going to happen to you. And yet you're having to travel alone in an ambulance to a foreign country, not knowing what's going to happen to you when you get to the other end, because imagine it's the first time you've had a heart attack. You don't know what's going to happen with an angiogram. Yes, you've heard about an angiogram, but it's obviously something that you don't know what the outcome is going to be. On top of that, you have to have stents, and yet you're on your own, and yet you have to recover on your own. So I think that COVID for us taught us how important it was to have this facility in Gibraltar, which is why we cannot thank the government and the GHA enough for bringing such an important service to our community.